A little bit of backstory first before we get started. This past February, my wife and I had a baby. And so last year in the fall, I was like,
hey, honey, do you want to like go someplace, romantic, just the two of us, before that baby comes along?
and she was like,
Yeah, that sounds great.
the only problem was that like that past April, we had gone to Hoshinoya Fuji, which was really, really nice. And I was like, okay, well, how do I top that? Because I remember like when we walked into the room and she was just like, because you just look out and there it is, Mount Fuji, just like staring you in the face, and it's just incredible. And the nature is incredible, and the people are incredible, and the food is incredible. The activities are incredible, and it's just like, I wanted to recreate that kind of like feeling, but how do you do that? Like, how do you top that? That's when I ran into, actually, this place I hadn't heard of before. I'm going to introduce to you today, Karuizawa. From Tokyo, Japan, Midwest and the Far East. A little bit of backstory about the town of Karuizawa. It is deep into Nagano, which is known for their just beautiful nature, their ski resorts, and like great food. The cool thing is, even if you only have 2 or 3 days in Tokyo, or maybe you're going there with your significant other for like a week or something like that, and you don't want to just go to Tokyo and Kyoto, you want to try something that maybe your friends haven't heard of, I really recommend going to this city. It is only an hour away. Recommendation for a hotel is the one that we went to. And I wanted to, I talked about, kind of have this sort of Hoshinoya feel. And I stumbled on this place called Ancient Hotel. And I had never heard of them. I'm sure you have never heard of them. But check out their website. I mean, you can tell right away that there's something special about this place. And you can tell that they're trying to target, like, those people that really care about the kind of food they eat, the kind of people they interact with, the look and feel of things in life. And I really was excited about this place. So living and working in Tokyo myself, I actually have a Japanese driver's license. And so for us to get there, I wanted to rent a Tesla, which I'd always really wanted to do. And I had rented one in San Francisco before using an app called Get Around. And so I used this other app called Anyca that is kind of like Get Around, where you rent from owners. And I rented a Tesla for this trip. One of the things that really sticks out in your mind is that you actually enter into a national park, which is really interesting. So you go, there's actually a gate to get into the national park where everyone, if you just go to see the park, it's $2 or $3 to get in. But the hotel is like right there. You have to go inside, and so you just say, hey, I'm going to Ancient, and they say, oh, okay, and you just drive in, it's on your left. And so I really was amazed that they had this hotel in the national park, which is just really, really wild. But really, I mean, you get an impression, right, from me just saying that, how surrounded by nature this place is. And when we went there, it was early November, and the leaves were changing color, and they were actually peak changing color like status, and it was just incredible. What I really liked about this hotel was how they incorporated the season into the food that they made. The food that we had was exquisite. The attention to detail, not only in the food itself, the preparation of the food, but the colors, the smells, the kind of bowls and silverware, and it was all so well thought out. And you could tell that they put love and care into each meal. We stayed 2 nights, and we had 2 different rooms during our stay at Ancient Hotel. And the first room was kind of like this red kind of moon theme, and every room had its own theme, and it has its own bath and veranda and everything. And you could use the spa, of course, in the hotel, but in case you didn't, they have their own showers in each room. And what I really liked is that they didn't have any TVs in the room, so they definitely like enjoy that space, the nature, the food, the time with who you're with. And I thought that made it really special. And on the second floor, they actually had kind of like this book sort of library with music you could listen to too. And they had like these tube CD players, like tube amps for CD players. And they had CDs upstairs that you could borrow. Really kind of cool like atmosphere to it. But we had a problem the first night, and this is why we had 2 different rooms during our stay, was that the shower was kind of cold. And they told us that they would fix it, but when they couldn't fix it the next day, they said, you know what, we were going to upgrade you to this other room. Beautiful, warm, kind of this lodge feel with a fireplace and a just exquisite bath with a beautiful like tile like tub and its own little garden that it looked onto, and the floors were heated, and it was just absolutely incredible, like a huge step up from the other one. I don't know how much it was per night, but I would guess maybe $500 to $600 for two people per night. So that's the hotel, but let's talk about the city. I'm going to talk to you today about 5 different things. Sightseeing, sort of nature-y things that are close to the city, 2 different restaurants to go to, and I'm going to talk to you about one place to get some dessert. So the first recommendation I have for you today is Shiro-ito Falls. If you're kind of into nature, which I am, and if you're going to Karuizawa, probably you are too, then I highly recommend Shiro-ito Falls. Shiro-ito means white string, and that's exactly what this waterfall is. So it's not like this huge, like, kind of thing. I've never seen anything like it. And it was mysterious, and it was awe-inspiring, and it had like this really fresh kind of smell to it. Like, I mean, it just came out from the rocks, and it's just so calming and relaxing, and it made you forget all the people that were behind you. The second place that I recommend to go sightsee is Kumaba Pond. Kumaba Pond, although it says pond, doesn't sound like that, amazing, romantic, whatever, but it's popular almost exclusively for how beautiful it is in the fall. So if you hit it just right, and you get there like early November like we did, you're gonna hit like the peak orange red with some green left, and it's just gonna be amazing. I was just looking at the pictures like that we took, and I teared up almost because of just how beautiful it was. That's what you enjoy. You're gonna be surrounded by tourists though, which is kind of unfortunate, but that is just kind of part of the package. You go there, you see the colors with your fellow man, and I think that there's something really beautiful about that, because when I got there, it wasn't just me. There were Japanese, there were Chinese, there were Koreans. Everyone was going there to enjoy this beauty, and I think that that's beautiful too. The third and fourth recommendation that I have for you today are places to eat. So the first of the 2 is a place you can go to for dinner, and it's actually started in Karuizawa. It's called Sawamura. Now Sawamura is kind of like this, I guess, bakery, I think is what it started off as, but they branched off into a restaurant, and they have places even in Tokyo. So if you can't go to Karuizawa, you can go to Sawamura in Tokyo. But if you have a chance, and you haven't been to Sawamura before, go to Sawamura in Karuizawa first. It's got this kind of like grill, sort of like steakhouse kind of feel to it. Hearty, sort of warm meals that are just kind of really perfect for dinners. The second of the 2 places that I want to recommend to eat is a place called Trattoria Primo. Now Trattoria Primo, as it sounds, is an Italian restaurant, but it was recommended by my wife's coworker who actually was born in Karuizawa. Now she has 2 kids, and she told us it's kind of a family place, but I really liked it because it was like lighthearted, So if you're going out with your wife or your significant other to all these like romantic places, it's kind of nice to like go someplace normal, I don't know, and I think Trattoria Primo really had that. And the staff was great, and the food was great, and that was that. So the last and 5th recommendation that I have for you today is dessert, and dessert is Mikado Coffee. And Mikado Coffee can be found in downtown Ginza, Karuizawa. And Ginza just kind of means like shopping district. There's a Ginza in Tokyo too, which is like shopping. And Mikado Coffee has this orange sign on it. And you can't go wrong. You're going to smell that coffee stuff there. But the dessert is that coffee with ice cream, so it's affogato. And it was delicious. So those are my 5 recommendations for a trip to Karuizawa, which is just an hour north by bullet train. Absolutely worth going to for that romantic getaway with your significant other. I can't recommend it highly enough. And I can't recommend Ancient Hotel highly enough. If you ever get a chance to go there, please let me know in the comments how it was. I'd be delighted to hear from you about your trip. If you have any questions in general about Karuizawa or about living in Tokyo, I would be more than happy to answer those. Until next time, I'm Midwest in the Far East, and I'll talk to you later.